Coming into the NFL season, there was a lot of jokes. There was everybody had jokes about Tua Tagovailoa and what they thought was his inability to throw the long ball. And you know what? I think, the thing about the NFL is there is way too many people that don't watch the actual games, like don't watch the tape, don't actually pay attention to the game. And I think, when you got an athlete like Tua Tagovailoa, if anybody would have just turned on the tape, and saw what he did in college, what was it, that first year, that touchdown pass, that he won in the national championship just a couple of years ago, like perfect touch, perfect long ball. And why do you think they brought him in to throw that pass instead of a guy like Jalen Hurts? Anybody? Okay, well, plus nobody can hear me right now. But anyway, the point is this. Tua Tagovailoa to me has always had really good accuracy. I felt like it's always been there, but it needed some work in the NFL. Let's not shortchange it at all. But with what he did against the Baltimore Ravens, especially multiple times down by at least 3 touchdowns. What was it? 28-7 at half, 35-14 heading into the fourth quarter. They needed a play, and when they did, they turned to what they invested in Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and all those guys. So you saw, especially with what this team was able to do. It wasn't even just the fact that Tua was able to throw the long ball and get him back into the game. It was that defense. And we've outlined why they have the Miami Dolphins have the most underrated defense in the entire NFL. I think that when they are playing the way that they can play, there is nobody that can beat them, specifically that defense. And if Tua can continue to play like this, 6 teddies, only 2 picks, and one of those picks, I get that he threw it and he was just trying to make a play at the end of the half there. I get it. So I don't really fault him for that one. And at the end of the day, then that first pick too, that was just a great play. There's not a lot you can do there. So, there's 2 plays there where you wish you would have back, but still, he brings you all the way back. Not to mention, great play calling by Mike McDaniel there, especially late in the fourth quarter. That draw or whatever it was to Chase Edmonds there late was, it was just genius. You had multiple timeouts. You had the defense on their heels questioning what you were going to do, and you did that play. It was just fantastic. I felt like they deserve so much more credit. So they were able to get just enough out of the run game to make the Baltimore Ravens honest. They had Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, who, at this point, these two are at least in the top 5 or in the discussion for being top 5 receivers in the NFL, or at least duos, Tyreek Hill ended the game with 11 catches for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, nobody could stop that man, also 11 catches. He had 171 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mike Gesicki added 441 yards and 1 touchdown as well. And I get it. This is only week 2. This is, the biggest question. That's the biggest question I get is, how can you say that only after week 2? Here's the thing. What was the biggest question that we had about Tua coming into this offseason? Was he going to be able to unite with Tyreek Hill? Was he going to be able to, with the addition of Tyreek Hill, was it going to be able to elevate the Miami Dolphins? Looks like it was. It looks like it absolutely elevated the Miami Dolphins, especially against a good football team. This wasn't the Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns are actually pretty good, but this wasn't the Jets. This wasn't the Houston Texans. This was the Baltimore Ravens, who, in my mind, are still a playoff team no matter what. The Baltimore Ravens had their lead. They had a guy. I'm sorry, I'm blanking for a second. They had a guy like Lamar Jackson out there on multiple scenarios where he was able to run the football, be effective. He had that long touchdown run as well. So it wasn't like they were doing it against nobody. So the fact that the Miami Dolphins were able to throw the long ball, keep themselves in it, and at the end of the day, win the game despite being down 3 touchdowns, I don't think there's a reason not to believe that the Miami Dolphins are a serious threat in the AFC. They've got the defense to back it up. Tua Tagovailoa showing that he can throw the long ball. Tyreek Hill and all those guys showing that they're dangerous. And their offensive line was good enough to get the job done. That was my other major concern with the Miami Dolphins. But at the end of the day, I think that there is no more debating the fact that the Miami Dolphins are a real threat in the AFC. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about the Miami Dolphins being a real threat in the AFC.